Hello. Hi, my name is Luke Eastwood. I'm the regional coordinator for Kerry. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this video is to help people who've never done any growing before to get set up. If you've already done growing fruit and vegetables, then don't bother watching this because I'll only be teaching you stuff that you already know. But if this is your first time and you really don't know what to do, then hopefully I can make that experience a bit easier for you. Okay, well, so starting with the basics. Um, well, you're going to need some seeds, which you can get from garden centres if any of them are open. I don't think they are. You'll definitely find them in some supermarkets. Certainly the German ones will have them. I don't know about the others. You might find some hardware shops that are still open. They should have some seeds too. Maybe a farmer's co-op. You can certainly get things like onion sets, which is like little tiny baby onions. You'll find those there as well as seeds. So yeah, that's the first step. If you can get an organic one, that is even better. Organic would be the best, but under the circumstances, take what you can get, really. It's a little bit late to get started. A lot of people who are more experienced would have already begun in February or March, especially people that have a polytunnel or a greenhouse. So you should still be able to get quite a lot, but not for much longer. So you want to hurry up and get down there and buy some. Um, Second thing, where are you going to do this? Not everyone has a giant garden. You can do this inside. If you've got a big south-facing window or a sunroom, yeah, you can grow stuff in containers. That's perfectly viable, and you can get quite good results, surprisingly good results using containers. You're obviously going to need compost as well for that. Again, you'll have to buy that in probably a supermarket if you don't have a ready supply. Okay, if you have a garden, um, you want to do your growing on the south-facing side. Fruit and vegetables, they want sun. You need them to grow a lot. In this country, we are not blessed with the best of sun, so you need to take advantage of um, the best situation possible, which is to have everything facing south if you can. If you can't do that, then sort of a southeasterly, southwesterly direction would be fine, or at a push, east or west facing, definitely not north facing. If you've got a north facing garden, then you really are banjaxed, not good. So, yeah, you might be lucky and be able to get to an allotment or do something with somebody else, maybe who's got a better garden or south facing garden or south facing sunroom. That's a possibility. Yeah, why not team up with someone else if you can? It makes it more fun and easier. Of course, you've still got to observe the 2 meter distance thing, but that's still possible, and yeah. So, assuming you've got some seeds, you've now found where you're going to do it. You want to get started because it's springtime and it's a little bit on the late side. Um, if you don't have seed trays, what you might be able to get is cat litter trays, and probably you want to drill a couple of holes in the bottom to let the water out. Um, yeah, you're going to put your seeds out. There's two ways to do this, really. You can do it all in one go, which means you get a massive crop of everything, or you can stagger it, where you maybe do uh, a smaller number. You might do, say, uh, 20 seedlings in one go, and then once they're germinated and getting bigger, you get rid of them into pots, and then you do it again, and then you do it again and again in stages every couple of weeks. That's if you want to have a supply of food coming online one after the other rather than on a massive glut in one go. With things like lettuce, that makes a lot of sense. With things like carrots or spuds, you can store these, so it really doesn't matter so much. Now, the germination. Generally, they germinate in the dark. What they need primarily is warmth. So your seeds need to be in warm, damp soil in order to germinate. People used to use the airing cupboard in the old days, and you can still do that. You can get a propagator. You can leave, that's a plug-in thing, just a pretty simple mat really, pretty much on the bottom of a tray. You can leave stuff over the radiator or near a radiator, that'll keep it warm. And yeah, the airing cupboard. Once the seeds have germinated, they don't need to be in the dark at all. What they need then is light, lots of light. And you will also have to make sure that they don't dry out. They don't want to be sopping wet. If you leave them sopping wet, you get damping off and lots of nasty mold and stuff, and your seedlings will all die. So you need to get the right balance between letting them dry out and having them soaked. So just a reasonable, nice bit of moisture is what you want, not either extreme. And once they get a bit bigger, of course, what will happen is for things like leeks, you'll get a single stalk, little one leaf. Onions are similar. With everything else, pretty much, you get two leaves. So you'll get a little stem come up like this, and then it'll open up, and you'll have two leaves initially, and they all look pretty much the same. Then after this, you start to get the actual proper leaves instead of baby leaves. Once they get to you know, a couple of inches high, you can definitely think about moving them. With stuff that's sown a bit close together, you might have to do it sooner because you don't want the roots to get all tangled up. So very carefully, you can use something like a pencil or a dibber, which is a proper thing for it, and carefully tease out the plants, put them into bigger pots. It's really important not to leave this go too long, because if the roots get entwined, it can be really hard to separate the seedlings. Anyway, that's probably enough for now. So anyway, best of luck with that, and try and get started this week if you can. The sooner you get going, especially with things like tomatoes and other sort of plants that need the heat, you want to get that started really quick. With other things like the cabbages or whatever, they'll survive the winter, they'll grow right through into winter. So get started with the things like tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers, courgettes. That's the stuff that needs the warm weather. So get started with them first, and get your spuds in too if you can. Anyway, one last thing. This book here, this is a Reader's Digest book. It's really easy to follow. Any old fool can understand this. You don't need to be an expert in horticulture. It's well written and it's full of great ideas and tips. So if you get a chance to buy a copy online, definitely get that. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.